you're basically the one telling the CEO, okay, I've been working there a few times. I know all your data. I know your business. You should do this. You should do that. And oh, my agency can provide.
You're being the in-house guinea pig, and if it works, then you can use your agency as like an in-house team for clients. So the angle is, instead of being an outsourced service provider, you're more integrated in terms of your skill sets.
And it's more like I can even manage their team remotely. I have someone from my team working on this client 2 or 3 days a week to see what I can push to her in this hour. And so maybe it can go down to, 2 hours a week, because she can upgrade her skills on the rest. So
if it works and you get another one, you could sort of 80-20 it, couldn't it? So you're only taking a certain portion of it, and trying to bring the other members of the team up to speed, because it's very high risk, but the reward's there, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't take many of them to put a big chunk on the bottom line.
Yeah, and I think there is less competition also on this global e-commerce stuff, and you're much more integrated. Every time I did that, it was my foot in the door offer. So I do the part-time CMO for 3 months, then I upgrade to Google Ads, to social ads, to email and stuff like that. So because you're basically the one telling the CEO, okay, I've been working there a few times. I know all your data. I know your business. You should do this. You should do that. And oh, my agency can provide.
Because you're sort of being employed as an individual. It is an advert of sorts for your agency, because that falls behind you in terms of the skill set. The owner of that business will feel like you are more of an employee, which has a risk to everything, of course, because they might take advantage of that in terms of your time and resources. But yeah, I can see why agencies do the in-house versus just it's sort of two sides of the same coin, isn't it? Versus a service versus in-house, but it's just a slightly different way of packaging. And in-house is probably more hands-on, even though you're remote. But there's also, it reduces the risk of the client letting you go. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if you make it work.
Yeah, if you have a good chunk of time with the clients and they feel like you're on the same team, you're on the same page, they don't question your service that often, basically.
But you are essentially working on a performance-based model as well, but with a zero baseline, which is I like it though, because that's literally saying to the client, if it isn't working, I will take nothing from you. That's the headache, and the risk is that in what you're doing, from my external perspective, it is very tailored and very bespoke. So you're essentially increasing the chances of it going off plan, shall we say. So you sort of going outside the scope, or things happening that you hadn't foreseen, because you're doing more of a job for them than a streamlined service, as it were. So I think that it's going to be a learning curve, but I think it's probably going to be a lucrative learning curve that will turn your hair grey. But you can always back out of it and tweak it. So